Hi, thank you so much for joining us. Today I am really excited and honored to have someone join us for the show. I'm going to let her introduce herself shortly. So stay tuned. You're going to learn a lot, especially for those of you in the diaspora thinking about investment back home. Stay tuned. You're watching Own Land in Kenya, and I'm Solomon Wangwe. So thank you for tuning in once more. I'm really excited and honored to have you here. This is Wanjiru Githiomi.
Hyphen Nganga.
Hyphen Nganga, you got that. And so rather than introduce you, I'll just ask you to, kind of tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay. My name is Wanjiru Githiomi Nganga, hyphen. That's the husband. I'm a Kenyan, number one, but I'm also a diasporan. I live in Cape Town, South Africa. I've been there for 24 years.
Whoa.
Yes, I'm a mom of twins.
I didn't know it was that long.
It's that long, 24 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, but I'm also an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And I have a business in Kenya, and the reason why I'm here is also that I've got a lot of interest in property, both in South Africa and in Kenya.
Okay.
Part of my life is I also ran an agency in South Africa for 14 years, which I sold. It was a sponsorship marketing and CSR consulting company.
Okay.
So pretty much most of my life, I studied law at University of Cape Town, and then I went into business very quickly. But I'm also one of those diasporans that never really left. I was always, even when I was in law school,
not like some of us.
Yeah, you people in America, what's that all about?
Yes. It was the elusive American dream that kept us there. But
oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, did you get some of it?
Barely. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
So you do come back and forth fairly regularly, right?
Yes, I do. Actually, now that I'm spending so much time in Nairobi, we had to set up a home in Kenya because it was becoming a bit ridiculous. Living in serviced apartments and half your life is in Nairobi.
Right.
Yeah, so I commute from Cape Town. I'm glad Kenya Airways now has a direct flight that stops at Vic Falls, and then only for 45 minutes, so you don't have to do that thing of getting out of the plane in Joburg and then transiting, because it adds a bit of admin into the trip. And actually, when I was flying back home last week, the pilots were telling me that they are starting another route, which is completely direct. So you get into Cape Town, the airport, and you actually land in Nairobi. So that will even make the commute even much easier.
Right. How long is that flight going to be?
It's about 5 hours, 5 hours non-stop.
Okay. It's about as long as it takes me to drive to Eldoret.
You see, it's just Geshagi, it's just over.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so what is it that's keeping you coming back to Kenya as frequently as you do? What are you into now? Okay.
So, as I said, I have been coming to Kenya anyway, regularly.
Okay.
But we just recently opened a business called BimaNet Kenya Limited, which I'm trying to get off the ground. So for the next 18 months, it's a startup. So for the next 18 months, I will be based along, very much in Nairobi.
Sure, yeah.
Yes. So we're distributing insurance in a different way by repackaging it in a way that it makes it palatable, affordable, and interesting to more Kenyans.
Yeah.
So it's an innovation that we've spent quite a bit of time researching around the world, because ultimately our goal is to get more Kenyans insured, especially with life insurance. But we have to innovate around the way insurance is distributed.
Right.
Because insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Yeah.
So we tried to step out of the ordinary and do it differently.
Okay.
And we begin to get some. It's not an easy market.
Right.
Especially starting a business during an election year, that was dumb.
Yes. it was a difficult year for pretty much everyone.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I can't imagine what it's like starting a business in that year.
Yeah.
But that's really what's consuming your time?
Yes. That's what's consuming my time at the moment.
I'm asking half knowing, because I've seen some of your videos online, and just full disclaimer, Wanjiru and her business, BimaNet, excuse me, are clients of the same company that produce our videos. So I have seen her videos. And I'm learning a lot about the industry through her channel, as well as other efforts that I'm involved in. So it's good to see that being in the diaspora is one thing, but having something going on in Kenya is still viable.
Oh, absolutely. You see, in this day and age of airlines and regular travel, you can live pretty much anywhere and do business anywhere. And ultimately, at the very heart of who we are, we're Kenyans.
Right.
And as much as we've lived there, our children were born there, we still, at the very heart of who we are Kenyans. So we have to figure out how to bring our talents and our resources back home.
Sure, yeah.
And there's no other way of doing it except, you know, having a presence in this great country. Because if we all disappeared and took all our talents out there, you know, we're not doing our countries any good.
Absolutely not,
Na kwa wenyewe ni kwa wenyewe. You know what I mean?
True, yeah. I mean, home is always the best, where
but
you belong.
Yeah, but you can live in two homes. I keep telling you know, when people ask me, oh, so are you relocating? I ask them, why? I'm already located.
Right.
You know, I've got this home in Cape Town and I've got this home in Nairobi, and my family is still there. My kids go to school. And they're in school in Cape Town. I've got 16-year-old children, twins, and but even they come home regularly, and I'm loving the fact that they are getting even more interested about associating with their Kenyan side. They want to learn Swahili, and they go to camp every June, July. We take them to a camp with other Kenyan kids, and they spend a whole week without cell phones, and they go into this Christian camp where they do exciting things, and they pray, and they make friends. And now I love hearing that they're in WhatsApp groups with other Kenyans. Even their accent is changing. Really? Yes.
Are they saying, even me, I?
Even me, I.
Right, awesome. That's the only authentic sign that you're connecting with Kenya. That's good to hear. Well, I don't know if you know this, but you know, from someone who lived in the diaspora, your experience is not that common. A lot of us in the diaspora don't have the flexibility, whether in time or resources, to settle there and pursue our goals, our ambitions, whether it's professional or otherwise, and still have a meaningful presence back home. I hope you're aware, because it's encouraging to hear that it is possible. And you know, I'll probably ask you a couple more questions going into the interview about how exactly you went about doing that. And then we'll get into the issue around investing back home, even though you're in the diaspora. So stay tuned. We'll be back with a lot more good information. You're watching On Land in Kenya, and I am Solomon Wangwe.